All right, here we are.
Stuff
Yeah,
guy.
back up in there like swimwear.
So, before we get to the old animal that is a female,
Yeah.
we'll start with some recently watched, and we'll start with Dirk again, as I guess always.
All right. Yeah. So watch this movie called The Arena from 1974.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, with Pam Grier and what's her name, Margaret Markov.
Rosaba's in it too.
Yeah, Rizal Baneri's like it's like a period piece in Rome, old time Rome, but it's like a female prison movie,
Yeah,
but like set in Rome. And yeah, so Roger Corman had something to do with this. I understand.
yeah, it was on one of the sets.
Okay, I'd
His
never
movie.
seen it, but damn, it was a trip seeing Greer because Margaret Markov and Pam Grier were in Black Mama, White Mama.
Oh
Together.
yeah.
So, and Joe D'Amato did the cinematography and the fight choreography.
I didn't know he was a fight guy, but okay.
So, like, basically, these women, they're getting kidnapped, like they're from their places where they live. Like all the men are getting killed, they're getting enslaved and used as like whatever. Like they get become slaves, and then they're sold to this. I guess he's kind of like a master of this Colosseum of the gladiators and shit. And so at first they're like kind of used to have sex with the gladiators and just do whatever they're told to do. But then they start fighting and shit. So then they put them in this, the master dude or whatever decides to make them gladiators, like in the arena. But anyway, it was a pretty fun ass movie, man. I dug it. But yeah, you get to see Rizal Baneri whip people and shit. And, and she's a mean ass in that one. She's like this warden type character. But yeah, she had a pretty decent role in that one. So then I watched this masterpiece of a film right here. And that's Tinto Brass,
Oh yeah.
The Key. You ever seen that one?
I've
No.
not seen no.
You think the movie we're about to talk about is bad? This one's like Tinto Brass did Caligula and
He did he do Salon Kitty?
yeah, Salon Kitty. And he did another movie called Kick the Cock.
Kick the cock. He did a good giallo called Deadly Sweet that I've mentioned before. That's
Right.
pretty good.
I haven't seen that one, but yeah, Tinto Brass. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, he likes big boobs and ass. That's what I noticed.
Yeah, and this takes place in the 40s. Like, well, I think it's 1940 in Italy, and it's got Stefania Sandrelli, and Frank Finley, and so this guy Nino, he's an older guy. He's like in his 60s. He's got this young wife, and she's not interested in him anymore. Like he can't get her aroused and shit. He can't get her aroused, so he plots this scheme. Like he starts writing shit in his diary, and then he sets a key up where she could get the key so she can read his diary. And in his diary, he's basically saying she can do whatever she wants. She needs to free herself. And then like he sets up this deal. He notices she's attracted to his daughter's fiance, so he kind of sets him up to have an affair, and he gets like some kind of weird, strange passion behind his jealousy. It's fucking weird, man. Like he gets so pissed off, but he's like so turned on because he's so jealous and all this shit. But it's a big time sexploitation. You see close-ups of all kinds of shit you might not want to see. There's one scene where he's like imagining what's going on, and you see this dude like got a big boner in his boxers, and you hear like a horse going off and shit. Then you see like the woman's dress come up. You can tell like wires are attached to it.
Well, I saw this morning accidentally.
Yeah.
On Twitter, some girl was posing with a horse, and she was posing right by its dick, and like she had her head like this, as the dick kept going down. I'm like,
oh man,
what the fuck? You got,
yeah,
people crazy.
But yeah, man, if you've never seen that, man, I don't know if y'all dig it or not, but it's beautifully shot.
There's always what's that? It's a one movie where he there's a picture of a girl riding a bike and her skirts hiked up, and showing her ass.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of in his movies. There's a
man,
a lot of boobs and ass.
This guy Nino, he's out of his damn mind, man. Like, I don't know what the hell he's thinking, but I call it an erotic drama, I guess you'd say. But so check that one out, and then the last one I checked out is The Boogans from 1981. I'd never seen it. Y'all seen that one?
Yeah, I mean,
it's
personally, it's one of those things where I feel it was a lot of hype, and it's an okay movie, but it's not something super, from my opinion, not a super, movie or something. It's just okay.
But like reading on it, I was tripping out because this guy David O'Malley, he wrote a couple episodes of Mork and Mindy, and he worked on House of the Dead, 1978. But then there was another writer that worked on The Hidden from '87 and Rush Hour, of all damn things. And I was like, and then the director worked on shit like Supernatural and Charmed and 90210. I was like, what the fuck? So these three guys made this fucking movie, The Boogans,
crazy,
and it's basically like I don't know, it's kind of like a slasher beast, creature feature, like Murder by Numbers takes place it's supposed to be Denver, but it's really in fucking Utah, and there's like down in the mines, there's like, I'm not going to ruin it or anything, spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, because I don't know, it's worth a watch, I think. It's super cheese, 80s, some of the line deliveries are kind of wonky, but some of the kills are pretty cool, I thought, and for the time anyway. So let's see. A lot of body dragging shit going on at first, you don't know what the hell's going on. But that's the three I checked out, man. I won't take up too much time.
Well, I've never seen The Boogans. I've always wanted to see it.
Okay.
I've heard good things. But first up for me is The Devil's Wedding Night from 1973. There's going to be a bit of a theme to these because it's going to be Rosalba Neri, a stream which we didn't get to, but we planned to do it, to do at some case. So you've got directed by Luigi Battistella and Joe D'Amato, and I can explain that now in a minute. So you've got one of these twin brothers finds out that this strange ring that's going to change all of mankind is located in Transylvania, like vampire country. Just by reading this book, apparently, you can find out this. So he goes to visit Castle Dracula and finds out that, tomorrow night is the night of the Virgin Moon, which you get every 50 years, and 5 virgins come out. They're kind of chosen. They're all hot, obviously. Then bad things start to happen. Rosalba Neri, she plays this countess. Oh man, she looks great. I'll tell you, this is 73. So I mean, there's plenty of sex scenes, which I presume Joe D'Amato filmed, as extra. There's a lesbian sex scene with the maid where you've got blood poured over Rosalba Neri's breasts and body, and brilliant, man. Tons of nudity. The lead actor, Matt Damon, he plays 2 brothers, twins. But he does it really well, because every time I've seen that in a film, he usually takes me out, but he does it really well. There's a dummy drop, which is great. Again, not high art or anything, but if you like gothic horror, I think you'll really enjoy it. Like, it's cheesy. I know Steve sent me it a while back, and I just got right into like watching it.
I watched the version with Elvira hosting it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty entertaining. I remember watching Elvira back in the day, renting all those Elvira movies and shit.
Yeah, she does. I think she's on that one, isn't she? Is she on this one as well?
That's what I was saying. She hosts that film. Yeah.
So next one up was Death Uncertain, which is from 1973. It's AKA La Muerte in Seattle. Directed by Jose Rame Laros, who did Edge of the Axe, Deadly Manor, The House That Vanished. Stars Rosalba Neary, of course. Mary Maud, who plays like the bitchy character from The House of Scream from 69. So you've got this planter who lives with his son in India. He has this affair with this native Indian girl. He goes to England then and remarries. This native Indian girl hears about this and commits suicide. She unleashes this curse on him and his like father just before dying. This couldn't be made today, basically, because so you got Rosalba Neary there, and she blacks up to play this Indian girl. Like, it just could not be played. Mary Maud in it, like, she's like super hot. I think, you know, she plays the wife. One of the servants is clearly a white guy, but he's blacked up as well. He's got this big turban on. You can clearly tell it's a white guy. It's like so funny, man.
What do you mean, Bob? He's black.
Blacked up. So basically, look like an Indian guy.
Oh,
but like, if you look in the credits, and now you can tell it's a white guy.
Okay.
There's like tons of stock footage throughout of like these animals in the jungle, just to like try and make out that you're in India, and it's just so far, you know, it just doesn't go with the film whatsoever. You've got an amazing scene where this tiger kills his servant. I mean, it's just hilarious. I highly recommend watching it.
They use the real tiger, though, I'm assuming.
Kind of, yeah, in that scene. But all I can say is just the way it's shot.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious, man. It's just hilarious. It goes completely batshit crazy towards the end, but I find like it's quite effective and creepy in places. So that's Death Uncertain. I give that 6 out of 10.
Was that called Arcane or something like that?
I'm not sure,
because I know I've seen.
I know it's called
parts of this movie or all of it, and it was under some. I don't think it was under a different name, but that's not unusual.
Yeah,
I guess.
It might have been La Muerte in Seattle is where I got it off. Realist.
No, I mean, so it had an English title, but you know.
Oh, okay.
I'll look around.
It's don't go in expecting too much if you.
I remember somewhat. So.
So the last one, I was really surprised at this one. It's No Way Out, aka Big Guns from 1973, directed by Tushio Tazari, who did Bloodstained Butterfly and Death Occurred Last Night. So in this one, you've got an amazing cast. You've got Mark Perel, Silvano Tranquilli, Erica Blank, Rosalba Neary. She plays this brief like role of a wife and mother. She's barely in it, basically. So you've got the syndicate contract killer. He wants to basically get out of the business. And in doing so, you know, the big bosses are not happy. They kind of plant a bomb in his car. By accident, his wife and child get in the car one morning without him, and they're blown to bits, you know. So the rest of the film is kind of him getting his revenge back. There's loads of different genres in it, but I think there's like enough giallo in it to keep anyone, you know, interested from giallo films. There's a great scene on a train where some guy is shot and he's like hanging out the window as the train carries on going. It's an amazing shot. You've got Carla Gravina, plays Sandra, like this really stunning actress who I've not seen much of. She was in like Without Apparent Motive, 1971 giallo, if anyone's interested. But But yeah, I think this director is really underrated. Erica Blank shows up out of the blue, and she gets beaten up by this bloke. But a spoiler, I will give one spoiler, right? So you've got Mac Perel in his scene, right? He gets killed while he's in this car crusher, and it is just an amazing scene. Like, honestly, it's something like you would expect out of like a Martino film or something like that. But yeah, there's loads of cool death scenes. The same track, they played like a piano version of Blue Moon, which was kind of cool. You got Tchaikovsky like as well. But yeah, highly recommended that one. I give that like a 7 out of 10. But yeah, that's my 3 for this week.
Oh God, there's a list.
No, I'm just gonna talk about 3 of them. Okay. So, as many people that are on my channel know, the last few weeks I've been doing Everybody Wants Englund, which is a retrospective on Robert Englund films. And so this past week I covered 3 different movies, and the first one was The Fifth Floor from 1978, which some people may think, oh yeah, this is just standard run-of-the-mill woman they think is suicidal. They throw her in the mental ward of a hospital, hence the Fifth Floor title. But I think especially Robert Englund added something to this film. Diane Hall, who people will remember from Christmas Evil, she played Harry's brother's wife in the film. Because I was looking at her, I was like, I know her from somewhere, and then it came to me that she was in Christmas Evil. But she plays a disco dancer. Keep in mind this is 1978. Who gets poisoned. Somebody put strychnine in her drink at this nightclub or disco where she. What are you?
It seems like I've seen a movie similar, like that similar plot, not too long ago. So that must have been like a common thing back then. Because I swear I can't think of the movie, but it was like a '70s film. That same damn plot of strychnine in a drink. Sorry, Dan.
Oh no, that's fine. So she ends up having a seizure out on the dance floor. So her boyfriend freaks out, takes her to the hospital, and the doctor thinks it's a suicide attempt. And she keeps telling him, no, somebody poisoned me. Somebody put strychnine in my drink. And they don't believe her, of course. And the doctor asks the boyfriend, he says, has she ever tried anything like this before? And he says, yeah, once. And she said, I'm not suicidal. I hate the boyfriend in this. He's just completely useless. He just allows her to be put in this mental ward. And she starts having a hallucination because the strychnine's still in her body a little bit. And she thinks there's bugs crawling all over her. And so, yep, they ship her out to the fifth floor. But Michael Berryman shows up in this in the background as, you guessed it, one of the mental patients. He never says a word, but he's in the background there. I said, that is Michael Berryman. I know that's Michael Berryman. Of course, his name was in the credits. Large Marge is in this as one of the mental patients. So for you Pee Wee Herman fans, and you can see
She's
her.
Great.
And of course, Mr. Robert Englund is in here as another mental patient, Benny. They don't really explain what's wrong with him. It doesn't seem like much is wrong with him. So maybe he ended up in there like Kelly did, which was Diane Hall's character. So Bo Hopkins is in this sucker too, as a very evil orderly who likes to mess around with the young women that come in to the fifth floor to see.
Does he match up with Nurse Ratched?
Yeah, he's like a male version of Nurse Ratched, only he wants to. I don't think Nurse Ratched ever sexually molested.
No,
any of the men.
She just wanted to. That was her problem.
Yeah, that was. But Bo Hopkins is probably at his most sadistic here because he goes in the shower with Kelly when she's, she hadn't been there very long. And of course, they got to watch them while they're in the shower. And he tries to rape her in the shower. And of course, when she tells Steve, that's the track. Whenever she tells everybody he tried to rape me in the shower, of course, they think, oh, you're just crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. So she's like, I got to get out of here. So she makes friends with Benny. She makes friends with Melanie, who looks strangely like Farrah Fawcett, so much so that I thought it was Farrah Fawcett for a while, but it's actually Sharon Farrell from It's Alive.
Okay.
But she's probably the most damaged of all the patients. She's tried to commit suicide several times, and she tries to take a bunch of pills, and Kelly saves her life. But you can tell she is definitely the most damaged of all the patients, unless you count the ones that just sit there like Michael Berryman with their head down and don't do or say anything for what?
Is this the first movie or the second movie you're talking about?
The first movie.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll go through the rest of them. This one was probably my favorite of the movies I watched. I'm not going to talk much about the middle one anyway. So I really, to get back to Robert Englund, the main part of the movie is her and Robert Englund's character and another character who's pregnant, and they want her to give up her baby. They want to make her give up her baby because they say, you're mentally ill, you can't raise this child, we're going to...
Like Papa Don't Preach?
Papa
Yeah.
Don't Preach.
Oh. That song.
Well, she wasn't a mental patient in that, was she? Okay.
She wasn't? I thought my daughter was always kind of mental.
But, so anyway, the last half of the movie is those three trying to escape, basically. But a really good, I don't know if it was a made-for-TV film because I thought there was some nudity in it. So, but a really good little tight-knit film. Robert Englund has a sizable part in it.
Ooh.
So the second one was, I don't know how many Patty Hearst movies were made back in the 70s, but this one was from 1979, The Ordeal of Patty Hearst. And I think you can safely skip this one, even if you're wanting to see...
So we can skip it. Any further details?
I'm going to talk about it real quickly, Steve, because I didn't watch it.
Who's Patty Hearst?
Oh, you need to watch the History Channel or something.
Oh, you don't know who Patty Hearst is?
She was a heiress who got kidnapped by this group. Like
Disseminates Liberation.
It was some ridiculous group, and they brainwashed her, and then she kind of joined them and robbed the bank or something. And anyway, when they arrested them, I don't even know if she went to jail
yeah, she went to jail.
Okay, so she went to jail, and then she was actually in a Crybaby by John Waters. So,
I didn't know Patty Hearst was in the movie.
So they put her. But that was about. I don't think she did any other acting. I think that was just kind of something he did. But
okay.
Proceed.
All right, so you don't really need to watch it because it's pretty much a paint by the numbers and not a very good paint by the numbers telling of the Patty Hearst story, basically. A lot of melodrama and all that. And Robert Englund's in it for a few seconds as an informer, and they don't really give him anything to do.
Does he inform?
Huh?
Nothing.
All right. So moving on to the last one, Mind Over Murder from 1979.
Serial mom as well.
Okay.
He was a big John Waters fan, I guess.
Probably. But Mind Over Murder was very, very good. Not quite on the level of The Fifth Floor, but it was still good. It has Deborah Ruffin in it, starring, huh?
Raffin. It don't matter.
Okay, well, whatever.
If it's an A, it's a Raff.
Okay, Steve. I got it wrong.
Oh, I'm trying to help. Sorry.
Well, you're distracting me. It's going to take me longer to get
Oh
to
God.
this movie.
Sorry, I won't do that again.
Deborah Raffin, anyway,
Yeah.
stars in this movie as a woman who can see the future or see. She's kind of got some kind of ESP or something. So she knows that there's a killer out there that's killing women, and he also has put a bomb on a plane, and she was able to hear the pilots before the plane exploded. But here's some additional thing that they add to this. When she's seeing these visions or hearing these visions, time around her just slows down to a stop. And I've never seen them do that ever in a movie. With, when you're talking about somebody with ESP or something like that. So she'll be looking around and everybody else will be going, and they're just slowing down until they just stop. And so Bruce Davison plays her boyfriend. And if you want to hear Bruce Davison, I love Bruce Davison, but if you want to hear him say, are you making it with this guy? I bet you're making it with him every day. Keep in mind this, again, was the 70s. So he says that a lot. And Bruce Davison's got some hellacious hair in this movie, too. So I hated him in the movie because he never believed his girlfriend all the time she was telling him this stuff. And then it all turned out to be true. And
it was like Rosemary's Baby, kind of?
Yeah, he was kind of on the level of Rosemary's husband, basically. What, Steve? And gosh, I totally forgot the one guy's name that they refer to him as the bald man. She keeps seeing this bald man in her visions, and she sees him, I think she sees him planting the bomb at one point. She knows what he looks like. And she tells these two, I guess they're investigators for the airline. And one of the investigators is Robert Englund. So, again, he's in this quite a bit. But she ends up falling in love with the other guy, not Robert Englund's character, but the other guy. And basically leaves Bruce Davison because he's acting like a dick most of the time. So it's the worst character I've ever seen Bruce Davison play. Usually he's a little more sympathetic than that. What did Mayor say? Oh, yeah, he'd probably get mad at me if I did that, Mayor.
No, go for it.
No, I don't want to do that.
Go for it, see what happens.
But anyway, of the three, I would highly recommend The Fifth Floor and Mind Over Murder. They're not anything like astounding where you're going to say, wow, that was the best movie I ever seen, but they're decent movies, and you get to see Robert Englund in them. Stop. Okay, so that's what I watched. Now continue.
All right, I just saw. I only remember two. So I got my Conan Chronicles 4K set in the other day, and I ordered it on Amazon back in like December 1st, and that for some reason it said it was going to get delivered, and then they go, no, you're not getting it today, and you're not going to get it ever apparently. So I got on deep discount, and they said they had some, so I said, what the hell, I'll order it. I'll get my money back, I guess, if they don't have it. But without sending me an email or anything, it just showed up, Yes. So I watched the first one again. I hadn't seen it in a while, and it looks amazing. I watched the international cut, or its extended cut. It had a few extra little bits in it, especially at the end. And it looks great. It sounds great. So it had some really decent special features. I'll watch the second one at some point. It's not as good, but it's fun to watch. I watched something.
You got Wilt Chamberlain though. Like,
oh yeah, and
he
Grace, what's her name?
Grace Jones.
Yeah, Grace Jones is in
Yeah,
it. Being
Wilt Chamberlain.
super.
He had sex with over 1,000 women, and he's protecting a virgin in Destroyer. So you got that, you know.
There's always that one scene. If you had a picture, I don't know why it had Wilt Chamberlain, and I don't know where Andre the Giant came in, but he was in a picture with him and Arnold, and Arnold looked like me between the two. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And he's like I guess he's 6 foot at least.
Right.
But the last one I watched was a real old movie from 1935. It's called Murder in the Red Barn by Todd Slaughter.
Okay.
And I've never seen any of his movies before, but this one is, and he's actually in it. He plays the bad guy in the movie, and he's a squire.
Oh shit!
So it's kind of funny.
Like medieval times?
No, it's kind of like I would have to assume it's like 1800s or something.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to tell really, but anyway, he's a real scoundrel type of guy, but then he's real charming, at least to these other people, and he's trying to get an affair with this girl who's a virgin, and he finally tricks her into it, and it's very implied but not said. And at this point, after that, he just kind of dismisses her, and he's betting. They're playing like dice, and he ends up betting. He keeps on doubling the bet because he's in the hole, and he ends up owing 6,000 pounds. So obviously, this is a great deal of money in the 1800s.
Oh hell yeah!
So he ends up he's arranging a marriage between him and this middle-aged woman, which he's like a weird-looking dude with a long face and kind of hunched. I mean, he's just a weird dude.
Might have been inbred or something.
Nah.
Is this what you were watching in the bedroom?
Poor posture, something. But
Okay.
the only reason he's going to do this is because he can get he'll get a dowry of 6,000 pounds to cover this. That's the only reason he's doing this. But the chick that he was having he was pressuring to have an affair with comes back, and she's pregnant. They never say pregnant. They never mention a baby. It's just all kind of innuendo. They'll say something like the little one or something once, but that was it. And so she comes back to him just on the eve of his, announcement he's going to get married, and he's upset with her. Then he smooth talk her and says, "I'm just going to marry you instead. Meet me at this location, and we'll run off and get married or something." Well, of course, he lures her to the Red Barn, which is a black and white movie, so it just looks dark.
Yeah.
And he goes crazy on her a little bit. In 1930s, he's all sinister. He shoots her, but obviously it's off camera, and you just see her laying down, and he buries her, but his one of his pistols falls out. The pistol he used to kill her fell out of his waist, and he buried it with her. And later on, the gypsy, which I found out the definition of gypsy. I've never had an idea what it meant. I guess I just not that, I wasn't.
Like a vagabond, right?
Well, it's basically a gypsy is a Egyptian, and a lot of people were called gypsies that were not
Right.
Egyptian
That were
back
like
then.
vagabonds and
Right, that's what it
wanderers.
became.
Right, 'cause
But-
they're mostly Irish, aren't they? Gypsy, like that's where I know them from.
No, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, in the Universal movies, they were just kind of like, I would almost think they were Hungarian or some other type of West or East European people.
yeah.
Oh,
But it's kind of strange. But because I would not put Egyptian with these type of gypsies.
because you
and
got Tyson Fury. He calls himself the Gypsy King. Like so.
Yeah.
Well, all my ancestors are gypsies, like from Ireland. I know I'm Welsh, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. And apparently a gypsy is not a good word to say anymore, which I don't know who would be offended by that anymore. I mean, there's not like vagabonds in wagons going around, but anyway.
Right.
But anyway, he's really bold for a low class citizen of of all these higher elite people, and they first assumed he killed her, and he got her pregnant because he wanted to run off with her, but she was still going for the other guy, and then they finally get him, and they get him to take him back to the freaking Red Barn and make the Todd Slaughter's character dig her up, and they find his gun. And it's funny when he's digging at first, he's like getting a lot of dirt, and when he knows he's getting closer to the body, he's just like getting a little bit of pebbles. But eventually he does. They don't show her anymore, don't show her face, but he kind of goes mad a little bit when he sees her. And then they hang him, but they don't show him hanging. They just show him standing there, and then the gypsy volunteers to be the executioner, and that was the end of the film. But I know that was it Indicator or somebody released a bunch of his movies, but I might check them out
I'm sure that's actually played a lot in the UK, like in the afternoon.
Yeah,
like BBC Two. Yeah, I'm sure I've seen bits of that. Definitely think I remembered it from what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, this was on some like a horror host show on Sling on the Nostalgia Network or something. This guy does it. It's kind of strange, but everyone they show different movies in there, and they range from quality. They actually showed the original Dracula, and then they show some weird shit that's probably public domain. But anyway.
Are y'all slinging? Y'all got the sling?
Yeah, I've had Sling for forever.
Okay.
But yeah, it now it's like $50 because I have a DVR function and stuff.
Right.
But
yeah, we switched to the YouTube TV.
Yeah, I mean, my mom and my niece split it, so it's real cheap.
Right.
But $70-some. I mean, it's cheaper than cable, but I. Okay, let's proceed with Darren's.
Or dirt.
Dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't blame this one on me.
Well, I kind of was yesterday, Darren, because I got confused who came up with this one.
Yeah, we.
Yeah.
Well, this was just a blind. This is all blind watch. None of us seen it. And it really tripped me out because when I said it, nobody heard of it. I was like, well, cool. This is going to be a great one, But, yeah. I don't know, man. I kind of dug it, though.
Wow.
It's got a twisted way, I mean,
well, the first part of it where Dana going on about the cat licking in inappropriate areas.
Well,
Right,
it didn't
yeah.
lick on the exact area, but it was in that general region.
In that region.
It got him pretty close from what I could see.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a female animal from 1970, directed by Jerry Gross. So I'm guessing that's an American director.
Jerry Gross had something to do with the Faces of Death stuff.
Okay, that makes sense though, actually, for this film, kind of. But the writers was Octavio Bellini and Marcello Lazzarino. So it's some Italian, Spanish, but I mean, so this is takes place in Spain, I'm assuming, is what I got. I mean, it never really says, does it? I mean,
it's weird. It's got a weird mix of all kinds. You just don't know where it is. It's definitely in Europe, I think, but it's just weird, like a weird mix of everything.
Yeah. So Arlene Farber or Arlene Tiger, is Angelique. You got Vasily Lambrinos is Count Orestes Medici, and he's like this high class, super rich piece of shit kind of. But anyway, then you got Andre Lanzat playing his son, Alain, which I thought, I've never heard a dude
like
named
French for Alan, I think. Yeah.
Okay. But so it starts with Angelique. She's in, like, when the movie comes on, she's in bed with some dude, and then he's like, "What am I, the 6th or the 7th today?" And she says, "The 69th, and get out." And shit. So he's getting up and putting his clothes on and shit, and then you see he's a priest. It's like, what the?
Right. He's got the hairiest nipples I've ever seen on a man.
And he's got a bunch of.
He's got moles on his side.
Yeah.
Moles with irregular borders.
That might be dangerous.
That might be skin cancer.
But, like, without interrupting Dirk, what did you actually think about the lead actress, Arlene Farber? I mean, she's one of the worst actresses I've ever seen.
I don't think I still don't think she's as worse as that bitch on Scorpion with Two Tails.
Oh, I do.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, like, her lines, like,
her lines is like.
I thought they were all bad. They enunciated every third word they said.
Well, I think because English isn't their first language, possibly.
I know, but I've never seen it this bad before.
No, it's like as if she was like pausing during talking, and it reminded me a bit of that guy in Ghost House. Was the Steve?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Uh-oh.
To Darren.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I froze.
Darren's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen. Okay.
You're froze.
That's a great picture, though.
I don't think he's frozen. I think he's fucking with us or something.
He's really good at it.
Okay, Darren, cut it out.
There, I'm on top now.
Freaking me out, man. But uh-oh. What the hell's going on?
I don't know, Darren. You might have to go out and come back in or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
He's out.
Okay.
Hopefully he'll come back.
Did I wait or continue?
No, go.
All right. So anyway, the dude leaves and he's throwing her money in a drawer and shit. I forget what he says to her, but she's happy though because she's alone with her kitty cat. She loves her pussy cat. So. I
was going to say, did I make it back in time for the cat talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bug-eyed Betty, bam a lamb, bug-eyed Betty, bam a lamb.
She's talking to her cat and shit. She's like, I wish I could just have you inside of me and all this weird shit. And I'm like, whoa.
I'm like, where in the heck is this movie going at that point?
PETA did not approve of this movie.
No.
Well, they must have put some dang tuna or something around that area.
That's not good.
That cat to lick like that.
Well, maybe it's really funky.
Her cat was being very friendly.
I was going to make a joke then about tuna, but I won't bother. Maybe she didn't need no tuna. That scene is really strange.
So I'm assuming the beginning of the film is happening in now. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
So then, because it don't explain that shit or nothing. It's just then it just goes into this other shit where, she's living with her. I guess that's her aunt. That's like a total bitch to her.
Yeah.
Calling her a useless.
Oh yeah.
Calling her a useless slut, cunt, and shit. And I was like, damn. And anyway, she's off to school. Is that what it is? Or they're off to somewhere with her cousin. And anyway, this Count Medici's chauffeur hits him, which was fucking odd too. Hits him in the car and it fucks her bike up and shit. And he's like, I'll buy you a new one. And then he's being super pervy to her. Because she's only 17, I think. And,
the way he helps her up and he's eyeing her up straight away, you can tell where this movie's going to go.
Yeah, you're like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
So then tells her he's gonna buy her a new bike, and then they come home, and her aunt's bitching her out, why are y'all late? And she's like, they explain why, and she's like, you're lying, bitch, and then she's got this lame ass Wando boyfriend. He's
Right.
like promising her the fucking moon and shit, and she's like, well, I ain't got time for that shit. You know, like I need money now. I need you to have money now, kind of shit. He's like, I'll buy anything you need. I'm gonna be like this professional, or he's gonna go to college and all this weird shit. He'll be an engineer or something. Anyway, she's like, yeah, what the fuck ever, kind of deal. And so then she gets somebody brings the bike, a brand new bike, and then her aunt's like looking like a bitch then, but she's still a bitch anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
about it, and there's a letter like wanting her to come visit Count Medici, you know. So she goes and visits him, and he offers her a job. She can be the maid, and basically because her aunt throws her out. Oh shit, I'm skipping some shit, ain't I? Yeah, kind of skipping things. Anyway, my bad. Her aunt throws her out, and then she goes to her uncle, who's like this drunk piece of shit.
He's creepy as hell.
Yeah, he's
And
creepy from the jump.
don't he try to molest her?
Yeah,
Tries to rape her at some point.
what I understand is he rapes her, but they didn't show it
Right.
because her clothes are all fucked up. And then, but it's like she wasn't really affected by it, really. You know, like this is common world for her or something. I don't know.
But you've got to laugh with the count as well. When she goes to, you know, he gives her the maid job. The first question he says is like, he asks her if she's a virgin straight away, just to try and break the
what
ice.
the heck?
Yeah.
And he's just completely lusting over this girl all the way through the film. It's quite funny because she's 17, isn't she? I think, yeah.
And he's like letting her know, like, whatever you do, don't get with my son. Kind of.
Oh yeah.
Well, she wants her a little bit.
Yeah. And then it's like this competition between the father and the son, and the son's spoiled off his ass, rich little prick, you know. But anyway, then so then Wando's lame ass shows up, begging her to come to a damn somewhere to a disco joint, or I don't know why she did it. She didn't have to fucking do it. She's at a mansion. I mean, hell. She does it anyway. She goes to this disco joint, and he's like, he's pathetic. He really is. I mean, it's like, dude, get a clue, man. You don't give a fuck about you, bro. But so he won't take no for an answer, kind of deal. They're at the disco joint. She comes and grabs this go-go dancer girl that's like dancing all crazy. She pulls her off the stage and she just starts getting naked, starts dancing and shit. Well, she's in her underwear. But so then Elaine and his rich buddies are watching, and she's all dancing like real funky, groovy kind of shit, you know, early 1970s shit. So
Dirk, I just gotta go back to one scene, right? If that's okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of the underwater kind of sex scene?
Oh, we haven't got there yet, have we?
Yeah, I think that was just before.
Is it?
That was just before her.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, so there's an underwater scene with Elaine and his girlfriend, and so he's basically eating her out underwater.
Yeah, it's
pulling her panties down.
The weirdest. It's the way it's done, man. It's like, you know,
like her head's above the water, and he's down there, you know. And that was a trip. That's on the trailer, by the way. I was like, what the fuck, man?
I mean, it just focuses on that man's ass as well all the time, which is not good.
And the chick, you know, her head's above the water, and you can see her tits and all, but
it's just really strange.
It is weird. It don't seem like that would be too pleasurable. I don't know.
No.
you get a mouthful of water doing that shit. I don't know. Fuck that shit worked, but anyway, it looked cool, kind of, you know. And so yeah, so Angelique's the new maid, and Medici and his son, they don't get along. They kind of, there's a part where they're at a fucking casino and they're gambling, and the son's like, the father keeps losing his ass to his son on roulette, and then he takes her. He's got her all dressed up, by the way. I kind of skipped a few things. He gets her dressed up, buys her all kinds of nice shit, grooms her like he's grooming her for, you know, a trophy type chick is what I got, because he's all like well-to-do type motherfucker. And so he takes her and throws her on the damn casino table, you know, and she's like, but I mean, she looked, I don't know, man. What'd you think about her acting?
Non-existent, dude. Acting.
Yeah. I didn't think about it.
It's like someone turned the knob and it turned it down to like 4 or 3 on acting, and it's like very low, you know, low energy acting.
It's almost like they picked somebody up off the street. They went and I'm not trying to be offensive, but it's almost like they went and picked up a hooker off the street corner and said, "Come be in this film."
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, she's kind of hot, so they thought, oh, yeah,
Right.
she'll do. But the way, like, it's like a reading off, like, what I got in front of me now, but worse, like, really slowly. It's strange, very strange.
So he loses. He basically loses the bet. The casinos cut him off for his credit. So he gambles her away, loses her. So then she runs off with his son. And as soon as she runs off with his son, he's like, "I told you she was a fucking whore."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
To this other woman, Francesca, which I didn't even bring up. She was like, you know, it's a weird thing too. She was a lesbian with his wife or something. I don't know.
Yeah. She was there just for, like, sexual favors, I think.
Yeah. So, so then anyway, she goes with his son, and you know, they get it in all night and shit, and then and then she goes back to Medici, and he's like giving her the 3rd degree type shit for being a whore, but it was his fault, kind of. Well, it ain't his fault for her being a whore, but anyway, she goes to bed, and Francesca starts messing with her.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And I forgot. Oh yeah, I skipped the scene where she's masturbating with a Coke bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to mention that, yeah. She just starts playing with herself, and then she gets this Coke bottle and stuff.
We need to kill at least 3 or 4 minutes. Can you do something with this Coke bottle?
Yeah, that's exactly
what. After she's done with it, she starts licking it or something. I don't know what the hell.
And you got the stable boy as well with, like, the J-Real perm.
Yeah. He gets it in with the stable boy. I think he was a virgin or something.
Yeah, she seduces him, doesn't she, in the stable?
She's like, I love hay, you know. I love the smell of hay or some shit. And so then like after the shit with Francesca, then Elaine pops back in and he's like inviting her to a party on a yacht. And that's when shit gets really fucking weird. And you know, they spike her drink with some acid and shit, LSD.
Yeah.
And it starts doing that weird shit, man. Like she's having hallucinations, I guess. Yeah, it's like some weird shit going on. She starts visioning her marrying Elaine, and then everybody starts coming up kissing her at the wedding, and then like you snap back to
and she's whipping the cake as well in between.
What is it?
You notice in that vision, she's whipping the cake, like, for some reason.
Yeah, she's whipping the Count Medici.
Yeah. And then it goes to the wedding, and then man.
And then when you snap back to reality, then everybody on the yacht is just like this big fucking orgy going on.
Right. Yeah.
And so we get down, like we're coming toward the end of the damn film, I guess. And then basically you find out that it was kind of like all a game that they were playing on her.
Yeah.
You know, like she sees Elaine. She's kind of like falling in love with Elaine, the son, is what I got from it. Because she looks all fucked up when she sees him making out with Francesca. And then they're all kind of like laughing at her. And then she just walks out the fucking mansion and she's off to go be a whore for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
She goes back to her pussy, basically.
Yeah, she loves her kitty cat.
So what was up with the stocking on the ceiling fan?
All the stockings hanging from the ceiling.
Well, that's where at the beginning of the movie and at the bumper at the end, it's like they were. I guess when that guy came in and she stripped off, she must have threw her pantyhose up there or something.
Oh,
right. Yeah, I noticed that.
I didn't even notice that.
Well, that's the least craziest thing about this movie. So
yeah,
but there's not much plot to this film. Like basically, I think it's basically just her fucking all these different, people, and they just threw in a few scenes in between.
There's a lot of bad furniture in this movie. I mean, it looks like an old person's house with the floral prints on that one of the couches and oh God, I was looking for the plastic covering on it would be the topper, but I guess
this wouldn't be a 4K you'd buy, right?
No. I would look at the screenshots of it just to see, so you could see more details. But no, I would not be buying it. I would have to guess that this was put out by something weird at some point.
Yeah, it looks like one of those.
But it's a what, American International or?
Yeah, I think it's co-production. I couldn't find a lot of information out on this damn movie. I mean, the only information I really found was on IMDb, and I don't really trust that too much because a lot of the times that's people's, just anybody could write something on IMDb, but yeah, I'd give it a big old fucking I'd give it probably a 2.
There you
10.
go.
It's not.
That's being generous. I mean.
Yeah, it kind of is really, but I did get some laughs out of this shit at least, because it's so fucking bad. But yeah, I wouldn't go back to it. At least it's not too damn long. It's not even an hour and a half. So
yeah.
But I'd have to give it a 1.
Okay. Yes.
I'll give it a 1 for some of the outrageous parts in it.
Yeah. And
I'll probably split the difference and give it 1.5 just for the pussy alone, But it's not the worst film I've ever seen, but it's probably top 5. It's really.
I wouldn't even put it in my top 5 worst because I've seen some shitty movies. It was just slow, to be honest. Even the sex scenes couldn't get me, kind of interested in the film, to be honest. But
no.
Yeah,
it was kind of entertaining in certain spots.
Yeah, I imagine for 1970, it was probably,
pretty racy.
Yeah, but it was pretty tame compared to what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was.
Right.
What genre would you put it under as well? Because
it's
got like a giallo feel to it, by the look.
Yeah, I was thinking the locations and the way everybody was dressed.
Yeah,
it's like they decided, we're not going to do this part of the story. We're just going to change it into a sex thing.
A sexploitation.
TNA.
Sexploitation.
Whatever you want to call it.
So I can see this would have played like Grindazes back in New York in the early 70s, just to get, people in, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it was like, what are you going to do? It was a blind.
Yeah. I know I'd done it, but as far as picking something.
Well, that one that you picked not very long ago.
The killer wore black gloves.
The killer wore gloves. No, that was
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Oh, the killer used the phone or something, or on the phone.
I picked the.
Oh, then I did the gloves then.
Yeah. There's another one called The Killer Wore Yellow Shoes. Have you seen that one?
No.
I seen that to Dirk, actually. The Killer Wore Yellow Shoes.
No.
I didn't even know there was one.
Jeez, there's all kinds of people wearing different colors.
But I gotta ask Steve quickly because he mentioned you've seen the Golden Glove. What was like your proper thoughts on it? Because you only briefly went.
Well, I will say I've watched like 30 minutes of it because I had to tap out.
Oh,
right.
Because I didn't want to see that ugly woman, that old lady, get screwed again or any parts of her body.
yeah.
With any instruments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I did watch part of it and I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
Right. So did you see the scene where he goes to have sex with her and then he comes in back, looks at the pictures on the wall, and he starts like getting mad because he can't get an erection? You seen that picture?
Because they're so nasty, he can't get it up.
Well, and he beat the shit out of her at one point. And then he comes back and tries to act nice.
Well, no,
she cleaned his room. That's what it was.
He's trying to throw her out, and then then that's when she came back and cleaned his room.
Yeah, no, what it is. I think she cleaned his room. Then he comes back, gets mad. He whacks her.
She's supposed to be
teeth
gone.
Go flying.
Yeah.
And then when she knocks the door,
fly out.
Yeah, he broke her dentures in half when he punched
and he had to glue them back together.
She asked for her dentures back, and then when she comes in, then he realizes like she's just done up cleaned all his place up. So he thinks, oh, that's okay, you can come back in for a bit. But some of the nastiest women you've ever seen in that film.
But what's even more disturbing is that shit was a true story.
I know. That's
I watched the documentary. It's crazy. Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. I might finish that movie, but it's hard. It's just very strange.
Yeah. Oh, I did remember who played the bald man in that Mind Over Murder. It was Andrew Prine. I thought I would remember it if I waited long enough. But anyway.
So I guess we'll go to the next pick, and that's Darren. What do you?
Right. Okay, so I was going to pick something. I was going to do something like Go in Venice. But after this pick from Dirk, I thought I'd lighten things up a little bit. So this is a film I've never ever talked about, even with Dirk on any stream.
Is it one of the teacher movies with Edwidge Fenech?
No. So this is Lucio Fulci, and it is
Murder Rock.
Oh.
Okay.
So I think we'll have some fun with that.
Ray Lovelock's in it.
So get your breakdancing gear on and
Well, that's a coincidence because next time it'll be my turn after Darren's, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing a Fulci film too, or I picked one.
The Red Monks.
No,
Dana picked the Red Monks.
No.
Shit.
Demonia, maybe?
Yeah.
Devil's Honey. Devil's Honey?
No.
I was thinking about picking
I'll pick that next time.
Yeah.
So we can have like a triple threat.
So we can play saxophone. I'll get a saxophone. We'll take pictures.
No, we won't.
Oh, I got dog hair now. Alrighty, so I guess we'll be back in a week or 2 weeks to talk about Murder Rock.
Yeah. Murder on a Rock.
Fulci does flash dance. Aerobic dancing.
I've only seen it the one time, so I need to check it out again anyway. So.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody coming out. We had like 22 people at once.
Yeah. That's early in the morning, too.
Yeah, Wes was saying in the chat. Yeah.
Well, that's me, actually, but,
Oh, right, okay. Under the Dead Pit moniker.
Yeah. I'm logged in as him, so.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll thank everybody. We'll be back in a couple weeks with Murder Rock, so be on the lookout.
Murder on the Rock.
Guys.
Later, y'all.